Oh, hey there, Seventh Block. Today we are not going to have a Zoom meeting. I'm going to have you guys work on this little digital lab that we were going to do yesterday until the storm kind of took our internet out. And so on your Google Classroom, Seventh Block right here, you'll see near the top a Forces and Newton's Laws intro lab. When you open that up, it has this Google Doc that's in it. And this Google Doc is going to walk you through instructions of how to complete this lab. And so make sure you're paying careful attention to the instructions. This first part here, you don't actually have to do unless this link's not working, because the link is right here for you. And that link is going to open up this tab. And actually, your tab is going to look a little different. And so we'll click on it and open up that tab. It's going to bring you to a screen that gives you some options. And in the instructions, it tells you to choose motion. And so you want to choose this one that says motion. And that takes you to that screen that I was just at. Then you're going to walk through the different instructions. So it says, make sure your boxes say force, values, and speed are checked. So up here, force, values, speed. I'm going to check those. And then I'll start going through. Apply a force of 50 newtons right to the box. Describe what happens using those terms from our lessons. If I click this double arrow, it automatically adds 50. And so I can click the arrow, my little crash test dummy starts to push the box on the skateboard, and I can observe, looking at the speedometer, what's happening. Notice it says to use terms like velocity, acceleration, displacement, those terms we've been talking about. Looking at the speedometer, what's it called when speed is increasing? And so I would want to use that term to describe what's happening. Then I can come in here, describe what's happening in this section, and then go on to B. It says reset the scenario. And so this is my reset button. Make sure those same boxes are clicked, and then it gives me the instructions of what to do. That's 50 newtons, up here, apply a force of 50 newtons, right, for about 5 seconds, then reduce the force to 0. And so I can do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can grab my slider and bring it back down to 0 and observe what happens. Now notice for the next one, it says, doesn't say to reset, so I don't want to reset it. Apply a force of 50 newtons to the left. I can click the left button and watch what happens. And then write down those observations. And then explain the exact steps needed to make the box come to a stop. So I'm going to want to try to make this box come to a stop. Might have to kind of play around with it a little bit, get it to stop. But I do those instructions and then write down my observations for each one. In part 2, it says reset the sim. And so I'm going to reset it. Don't forget to check force, values, and speed again. So force, values, speed, check those again. And then using a timer or your phone, measure the amount of time it takes to reach maximum speed using a force of 50, and then try again with 100, 200. So I'm going to use a stopwatch. I'll come over here. If you're going to do 50, 100, and 200, I'm going to crank it all the way up to 500 so it works quick. Whoops. And you can see what maximum speed is. He kind of falls down. Boop. That's when you know you've hit maximum speed there. And so you're going to do that for 50 newtons, 100 newtons, 200 newtons, and record the speed. Then you're going to do it for mass. And so now I'm going to do 50 newtons of speed each time, but I can add an extra box. If I click masses, it shows me how much they are. I can move the boxes off. I can use the trash can. I can use a box and a trash can, right? Or I can use the refrigerator to get the different values. And so you see 50, 100, 150, 200. And I'm going to record how long it takes me to get to maximum speed for each one of those. In part 3, I'm going to be looking at friction. And so if you look down here at the bottom, there's a tab that says friction. And so I'll put friction there. And then it says set friction to none. And so if I set it to none, observe kind of what happens. It tells me to write down why I think the animators did that. And then to check only the speed box. And so I'm going to uncheck forces, check speed, and it gives me some instructions of what to do while the box is moving. Getting it to go to maximum speed. And then I write down those observations. Then it comes back to Newton's second law, and we're going to do it with friction. So those are some of the kind of how-tos with this lab. Now today you're going to have this lab to do. I know several of you have an SOL tomorrow. I'm going to have a real brief science SOL review for you. It's only one slide, really quick and easy. So your assignments for today is to do this lab that's on Google Classroom, and then you can go ahead and do your Friday assignment if you want, so you don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Again, no Zoom meeting today. I'll be in a meeting this whole time. And so if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll try to respond to those. But use this little lab just to play around and get used to Newton's laws. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday.